Our next speaker is a man who knows how to close the deal in more ways than one. He started his journey back in 2004 as a San Diego realtor before realizing his true passion wasn't just helping people find homes, it was helping them finance them. So give it up for the man who takes the stress out of financing and brings the fun back to funding. Please welcome Mr. Brian Sciutto.
Wow. Listen, it is the fourth quarter, you guys, and we've got a couple more hours left. I want you all to stand up really quick. Food coming setting in. You guys are, it's probably, you're feeling it a little bit, right? So I want y'all to go like this for me really quick. Like this. What does this mean in sports? It's the fourth quarter, right? At the end of the third quarter, you guys can go have a seat. Maybe shake it out a little bit before you sit down so you wake up a little bit. But listen, you guys literally, if you're a part of Fusion, you have, James has put together, he's like put you in the best stadium. He's given you the best coaches. He has the best playbook. Yes or yes? Yes. Cool. Guys, the first three quarters, I've heard from a lot of speakers today that the last 3.5, 4 years have been really hard, right? But if we treat it like a game, like we get to do this. We don't have to do this, right? We get to do this. Let's say that. We get to do this. Do you believe it? Yeah. Cool, man. Then wake up every day and let's finish strong. You know, you have the playbook, run the playbook, surrender to an authority, and be directed, not drifted. So winning teams, I'll give you an example. How many people are from Denver? Denver Broncos last weekend, if you're from Denver. I'm not a fan. However, I got a lot of appreciation. They were losing 19-0 in the fourth quarter last week, and they came back and won 33-32. Man, Travis loves the Broncos. I always have to gift him on his birthday Bronco gear. I hate it, but I get it to him anyways. But anyways, guys, like if you don't feel like you've accomplished your goals or won the game yet in the first three quarters, it's not over yet. The fourth quarter's ready to go, and we got to show up every day. We got to be more directed than ever. We have to be more focused than ever. We have to raise our standard, okay? And we have approximately 50 more business days before the end of the year. So if we're behind in our personal game right now, can we finish strong and win this game this year? Yes. Yes or yes? Let's go. You guys still got time. Like we're going to finish, and I'm going to give you guys some tactics today to be able to do that. But listen, Ben Newman wrote a book called The Standard. And I highly encourage you guys to get that book because it talks about we all have about 33% more to give than we realize that we have. Man, if it's been a tough 3.5 years, 4 years, and it's been different than we expected and harder than we expected, like, man, this is a muddy game. Maybe the snow's coming down, maybe it's sleet, but the winning team finishes strong. Okay? Winning teams, winning individuals always finish strong. So I think in hearing a lot of the speakers and a lot of the tactics and things, I think something really important to note is there's nothing noble to being superior to fellow man, but nobility is being superior to your formal self. So don't compare yourself to anybody that's spoken. Don't compare yourself to anybody's results. Be the best version of yourself, okay? I thought I'd share this slide because I want to qualify that I am qualified to be here talking to you guys about sales and closing tactics today, okay? And you see that girl to my right on the screen? Okay, she's former Miss Texas. I closed her. She's like a 10. I'm like a 5. I'm good at sales. All right, you guys. So listen, I know the last 3.5 years have been a little tough. My journey's been a little tough as well. And so success, a lot of people, when you get introduced and it sounds all great and you do this and that and you have some accomplishments over your career, people think that you're just born that way. Oh, he just has an advantage, whatever. No, my journey's just like everybody else's. It's freaking messy. But the key is like we have to fight through the muddy middle to get to the success. And I know one of James's core fundamentals in business is number 3 is like endure. Okay, endure. You got to stay the course. You got to wake up every day and you got to have a standard to do the things that you need to do in order to experience the success in the future. It'll come. Okay, but this is a little bit about my journey. Man, it's been a tough 14 years. Okay, broke. I got in the mortgage industry, broken. I got introduced to this playbook. I followed it, had some success. Then I got skin cancer. I got married. Then I got divorced. My mom passed away. I mean, it has been a crazy, crazy, crazy journey. But just like Fusion Growth Partners, I've always had a mentor that I'm accountable to that never let me fall. Okay? Never let me fall. So if you lean into Fusion, you'll always have success. I wanted to share this story. I don't want to share with you guys like my successes in this business. I think it's more important to give you guys some perspective about a standard. And so my mom told me this when I was a little kid. And ironically, one of my favorite athletes has the same quote. But she said, I don't understand why anyone would give less than 100% when giving 100% is simply a choice. Okay? And like I never really understood what that meant when I was a kid until one day I was at the dinner table and my dad was my hero. Whose parents are their hero? How many people like literally ready to admit that my parents were my hero? So I was a kid, 5, 6 years old. I don't remember exactly which, but my dad sat at my left at the dinner table when I was growing up. I don't remember a lot about him, but I remember that. And I used to wait to eat until he got home. He was my hero. Man, it was so exciting to see him. One day at the dinner table, my whole family had finished eating, and my dad still hadn't come home. I hadn't touched anything on my plate. An hour went by. I still sat there. Everybody's getting ready for bed. I'm waiting for dad to come home. No dad, no call. Next thing I know, the phone rings. My mom answers it, and kind of her face goes white. I didn't understand what that meant. All I knew is that he wouldn't be coming home that night, but he was going to be spending the night in the hospital. I didn't eat that night because my hero didn't come home to enjoy that meal with me. And then I woke up the next day, and this is what I learned about standards. Watching cartoons with my brother and sister, dad's still not home, another phone call comes in. First time I ever saw my mom cry, last time I ever saw my mom cry. It lasted about 15 minutes. She broke the news to me. He had passed away. He got hit by a drunk driver, illegal alien, got sent to jail that night, shipped back to Mexico the next day, came back, ended up killing somebody else later. But anyways, it was a really tough time. 4 kids. My mom became a single mom overnight. Learned a valuable lesson that day. Spent all day in my room crying. It really hit me, devastating, still affected to this day. But Sunday morning, I'll never forget, I didn't sleep that night. God only knows what my mom's night looked like and what every night looked like from that point on. No life insurance policies, no safety net to fall on, none of that, right? So she was a single mom. She was a school teacher, probably made $30,000 a year at that time, maybe. And she had to take this whole thing on herself. So she had a couple choices. The next morning, I woke up I came out of my bedroom to my mom filling all my dad's clothes in black, hefty trash bags and taking them out to the street. And I didn't understand what she was doing. Like, why is she giving all this stuff away? I didn't understand. It took years later. I became an adult, and I reflected back, and I finally understood. She had a choice. She could give up. It's really hard. Probably didn't sleep at all that night. She could have given up. But she had a choice. She needed to either become the mother, a champion mother, or just give up completely. And she had every excuse to just let go, and we would have been in a bad place. Kids probably we could have been in jail, drug addictions, all the stuff. But she chose to raise her standard. Okay, she was, the day before, she had a standard of being a great wife. The next day, she only had one choice, and it was to be a great mom. And so I can only imagine every day my mom woke up, there was breakfast on the table. All the chores were done. She woke up at 3 o'clock every morning to feed all the animals. We had 3 acres, 32 horses. It was a lot. But every day, woke up, breakfast on the table, lunches packed, drove us to school, picked us up from school, dinner on the table at night. She picked up the torch, raised her standard, and committed to a 10 out of 10 standard as a mom every single day. And that's when I learned a valuable lesson. I have a choice every single day. Life can be really hard. Is life hard? My fiance always says, life is really hard. Sure, it can be hard, but we have a choice. we can still give 100% even though the day before was hard, even though we didn't get sleep that night. I didn't get great sleep last night. Who slept well last night? I slept like crap, right? But here's what I did. I told James I need to raise my standard. Before I spoke, I went downstairs, I went outside, and I shook it off, got some vitamin D, and I wanted to show up big for you, okay? I wanted to give you guys some value. So every day, I want you to think about this speech when you wake up in the morning. Do not start your day until it's a 10 out of 10. And there's lots of different things you can do to do that. You can journal, you can exercise, you can do whatever. But if it's not going to be a 10 out of 10, why show up that day?
My name is James Becker.
James Becker!
I am the founder and CEO of Fusion Growth Partners. I have built from scratch one of the largest mega organizations or teams in the country. We currently have close to 850 top real estate agents that work and partner with my organization. Last year, our agents sold over $7 billion in real estate, producing well over $200 million in gross commissions earned. Hope you enjoy what we're going to share.
Anything less than a 10 out of 10 isn't going to get the results you want, yes or yes? It's not. Okay, so I think it's really important to understand who we are. And I know some of you guys probably buy leads, and that's probably a segment of your business, but my definition is we are a buy referral sales organization. A lot of people, is that who you are? So if we're a buy referral sales organization, what do we got to do? We got to have a standard of, man, every day we've got to make sure we complete sales activities, no matter what, okay? So guys, I think it's really important, and James talks about this in one of your fundamentals, is be the professional that you would hire, okay? So do you want, your clients want somebody who gets up and has a big time standard every day on their behalf, and be the standard that you would want your kids to be if you need inspiration, okay? So if you're gonna tell your kids do good in school, show up, no, you can't skip school, all these things, no, you can't take today off because you're not feeling good. Raise the standard and let's play big every single day. So we got to plant seeds so that we can pick crops, and we have to do it with aggressive patience, okay? Now listen, I was talking to some people a little bit earlier talking about the speech I was going to give today, and you guys have two choices, okay? Every day we can show up and we can play on a little league field. Okay, and I don't know about you, but if you're a dude like me growing up, man, we used to go out, teenagers, whatever, we'd go on the Little League field. Who else would do this? And your friends would lob you the ball, and you would try to crush that thing over the outfield fence. Anybody do that? Anybody do that? And you round the bases, you're feeling like $1 million. Yeah, do you see that? I crushed that. But it's a Little League baseball field, okay? And so that gives you a ton of good feelings. That feels good, okay? When you play you crush it on a Little League field. If you're crushing sales opportunities, but they have no ability to refer you, if you're doing sales activities and you crush it, but there's no way that you're gonna reap the benefits of any of your efforts, right? Because that person can't refer you, you're playing on the wrong field. I think it's really important if we're gonna be a buy referral sales organization, and by definition, we sell, why wouldn't we play in the big leagues every single day? Because if you're scared about that pitch coming, but as long as you take a swing, sometimes you see those little leaguers, right? First time ever, the opposing pitcher is actually a real human being thrown at them, before they have the little tee that they hit off of, and all of a sudden, there's a real person, and they squint their eyes, and the best dads are don't step out of that box, you swing. If you're gonna go down, you go down swinging. And the same thing is true in this business. If you're gonna go down, guys, take a swing. And so then those Little League kids squint their eyes and they throw their bat out there, and then all of a sudden they connect. And oh my gosh, they got a result, okay? And I promise you guys, the big leagues, the most successful, highest paid players in the world, if they connect 1 out of 4 times, that is a massively successful career. So just because you don't get the sale every time doesn't mean you give up. Doesn't mean that you stop, okay? It means you lean in and you take bigger swings and you swing out of your cleats moving forward. So I wanted to share a little bit of tactics about hunting for whales. I call them whales. Like currently I work with 12 of the top 50 realtors in America, producing realtors according to the Wall Street Journal. And it's because I'm intentional about going after that business. Do I want all 50 or all 200 out of 200? Yes, but it's not realistic yet, but it will be one day. Anyway, so guys, like we have to create a list. And so do you guys have any ideas what whales look like that can refer you? What does that look like? Okay, so we'll get to in a second. But man, you know, if we're going to play the game and there's business to be had in this industry, there's have-tos and there's like kind of want-tos. The have-tos are the ones that have to buy or sell because of a life event, okay? Divorce, babies, need a bigger house, retirement, etc. Death. You know, we talked about the D's earlier. The CEO or the Compass vice president. So if you're going to prospect, why not prospect where the business is? Okay, the have-tos. So if I'm going to cast, if I'm a fisherman, I'm going to cast my line. I don't want to cast it in a pool of water with no fish or little fish. I want to cast it in a pool of water with big fish, okay, because that's where the business is. True? Okay, and so once we start and we have a list, we have to prospect with aggressive patience. Guys, results don't happen overnight. Okay, persistence is key. Longevity is key. And so once we have a list, like I want you guys to think about who are some financial advisors you know, okay? Who are some estate and probate attorneys that you know? That's where the business is. CPAs, okay? Financial advisors, those are your big four right now. Okay, and as long as we have a list, then we can work our sphere of influence to see if they can introduce us to the people that we wrote down on the list. Maybe they know them, maybe they can introduce us to them, etc. And then most importantly, like the analogy with the kids, dads encouraging the kids to swing, like I think some of us don't close hard enough. Like remember, we're a buy referral sales organization. Part of your job description is selling. And so not soft closes, okay? Hard closes. There's objections that are going to come. It's part of the sales process. I think Byron talked about it a little bit earlier. You have to expect the objection. But then you have to close again. And you have to keep closing knowing that the sale's there, okay? There is a sale to be had, but you've got to get through all of the objections to overcome them, express your value, and then go in for the close again. So here's what it looks like for me if you guys are interested in creating a whale list and going after business where the business is at. Okay, create a list of 5 to 20 potential whale partners. Okay, commercial brokers, attorneys, so family attorneys, financial advisors, building business owners, etc. Okay, these are people with money or people with life events that they have to. Does that make sense? Cool. Now listen, it's always important if you have a whale relationship to have somebody involved in that business so they're close to the clientele that they're going to refer you. And then make it a little bit of a game every day. Remember, this is a game. Fourth quarter, let's close strong, let's go for it. And once we have our sphere and we have our target list, then we can work on getting introductions through Triangle for Trust. As an example, I asked one of the big real estate agents that I closed actually last week in North Carolina, who the top 3 realtor professionals that she knew personally was anywhere in the country. And I said, who are the first 3 people that came to mind? And she told me. I wrote them down. I asked her for an introduction. And this was the introduction she sent me literally as we're sitting at the closing table. So guys, when you're with your listing appointments and you get the close, do you go for a +1 close on top of that? If not, I want to encourage you to ask them who else they know right then. Who are the 3 people that they think about that either need to buy or sell in the next 12 months that come to mind? And then ask them if they can refer you. If it's a professional, ask them if they can refer you. Okay, but this is the easiest way to sell. Now, I have a little fun with this business because I'm a buy referral sales organization. And so these are all examples of what y'all do, okay, great at marketing. What I do is I take pictures of any of the marketing I see from a real estate agent. You guys can do the same. Financial advisors, commercial brokers, CPAs, family attorneys, whatever. You see their advertisements, take a picture, send a text to that phone number and I just saw this. I'd really love to talk to you. And that's it. Guess what? Your phone's gonna ring. Okay? They're gonna call you and you get to gamify it. Okay? So you can try to get an appointment from there. I don't have time to give you a whole game plan, but we can talk later about that if you guys want offline. But this is really fun. There's marketing everywhere. The people that are marketing or advertising are the professionals that are making the money and doing the business. So if you want to know where the business is the people that are advertising. So you need to reach out to them, to get in relationship with them, and to help them add value from your seat to their clients. Does that make sense? So have a little fun with it. Who can do this? Can y'all do this? Gosh, you could do this. I'm just encouraging you to do this. Okay? So I think it's really important to dominate the simple. Fusion, as good as they are, as good as y'all are, has a simple playbook. Is the playbook simple? When you think about it, is the playbook simple? It's the playbook that's simple that makes you the most money. Okay? So I want you guys to always remember, every day that you wake up and get to that 10 out of 10 standard, do the hardest things first. Okay? And that is the selling part. Run the play to do exactly what Fusion tells you to do. It works. Okay? You want to be in 90% green time every day. You don't want to be drifting. You want to be selling every day. Eliminate your distractions. We'll get into this stuff. But this is what it looks like for me. Okay, so I have a whale list. I always have a minimum of 5 names on it, and I'm always trying to identify somebody on LinkedIn or somebody that I know that might know that person that I can get an introduction to. Okay? But one thing I do know for sure, Jesse Itzler, so anybody know Jesse Itzler? Okay, Jesse Itzler says it's the 100-hour per year rule. And so if you break that down into 52 weeks, it means 1.91 hours per week. If you just do what your competitors aren't, 1.91 hours per week, you're going to have 95% more success than anybody in your industry, all your competitors, okay? But these are some of the things that I do to prospect bigger producers or people that I want to get in front of. This is my playbook, okay? And if you want it, you can reach out to James. I could send it to you. If you guys don't have your value proposition yet, I think it's really important when I get big meetings, it's really important that I can really let people know who I am and how I'm differentiated. And so if you guys really want to add value, you have to understand your value proposition. Put it together. It can't be like both corners on the street that your competitors that we all say the same thing. Okay, we have to have a differentiated value approach. Like as an example, I have a 10-day, $30,000 close guarantee. How many lenders that you work with have a 10-day, $30,000 close guarantee? How many people stand behind that? Well, I do. You work with me. You send your clients with me. We're getting that stuff closed. I didn't curse, James. We're getting that closed, okay? And if we don't, I stand behind it with my money, okay? And so we do a lot of these other things, but just know your value proposition. Going back to the slide at the beginning, guys, I just don't think we close hard enough. I didn't really understand what this meant until about 5-6 years ago, and I started introspectively trying to figure out why I would get a verbal close, but I would never get the business, because I didn't close hard enough. I didn't close with integrity. Okay, so what that looks like for me today is when they tell me, yes, I'll give you a shot, I go right into the integrity close. Cool, I'm a guy of integrity. Do you have integrity as well? And they always say yes. Cool. If we had to quantify it on a scale of 1 to 10, when you said you're going to send me your next 2 or 3 deals, 1 being there's no chance and 10 meaning for sure, with integrity, quantify that for me. What number would you give me? And it rarely starts with a 10. That's where the selling really begins. It's usually a 7 or an 8, and I'm like, oh, cool, out of curiosity, what would it take to go from a 7 or 8 to a 10? And that's really, they're going to tell me exactly how I need to close them. And so we just have to learn to close harder. The objections start to come up, and then I start to identify the objections, manage the fear of the objection, and give them confidence that I am the right guy, you can trust me, and then go for the close again. And usually that takes 2 to 3 iterations. Okay? But that's really a by referral sales organization. Not just if they say no, walking away, like, why not? What would it take to work with you? Tell me what it is that you need. Like, my tail's wagging. We had a great meeting. Like, I really want to do this. Okay? So I want to make sure you guys, not only do you start your days and play at a 10 out of 10, like my mom, every day of her life. Every day. And I didn't understand it. We didn't have a great relationship. But I had a heck of a lot of respect for her as I became an adult and reflected about what she did for me and my family and my brothers and sisters and how she got us through life. It must have been really hard, but she showed up every day with a 10 out of 10. Okay, so I want to implore you guys to utilize a harder close. Okay, you owe it to yourself and your family. Okay, and then go for the +1 close. Man, when they say yes, with realtors that give me a yes and a 10 out of 10, I'm like, cool. Hey, out of curiosity, what was it that made you say yes? They're going to tell me what they liked about me. Out of curiosity, who are the best 3 realtors that you know right now that come to mind anywhere in the country? Do you think that I would be a good fit for them as well? And then it's the +1 close. Cool. Would you mind making an introduction for me as well to them if you think we'd be a good fit? So I don't ever have to cold call anybody anymore. It's always a warm referral. So, guys, there's some tactics. If you guys are prospecting like divorce attorneys as an example, and they have a couple of realtors they work with, if you get that first opportunity and they refer you a client, make sure to have that client let them know that you're taking great care of them. Make sure. Okay? Ask them to do you a favor and let the referral partner know that you're taking great care of them. That will anchor them to you, marry them to you, and feel more confident referring you more in the future and pushing the other realtors aside. So I think it's really important. I don't think we do this enough. James does a great job supplementing this for you guys. But man, with your big referral accounts, text them on Friday evenings and let them know you're available for their clients. Text them on Saturday mornings. Let them know that you're working and you're available with any questions or sphere of influence people that may be interested in buying or selling. But it's staying top of mind. It's just the little simple tactics that we can do. A lot of times I hear when I talk to realtors or lenders, and I coach a lot of lenders around the country, it's like, man, I don't really have time to do all that stuff. BS, we don't have a time management problem, okay? We have a prioritization problem. You guys agree? So oftentimes we prioritize the wrong things. I highly encourage you to read a book by Stephen Covey, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Who's read that? Cool. The truth is, we need to focus in quadrant 1, and we need to prioritize based on what's the most important thing, meaning what's either going to make me the most money today or save me the most time today, or, ideally both, okay? And that's how we need to prioritize our time, and those are the activities that we need to spend the most time in. So guys, how do you achieve all of the goals that you guys have? How do you get the results? This is it. It's the formula. You got to build a bridge from the goals to the results. Aggressive patience. Every single day, show up with a standard and do the things that are going to bring you success in the future. If you stay the course, success will come. Attack the process with aggressive patience. Be super disciplined and run the fusion play. It works. So I'm going to leave you guys with this. So this is me. If you guys have ever heard of the core training, I've been fortunate enough with all of the stuff that I've done and all the activities that I've done, all the support of my coaches and running the play at a high level, I've won the last 2 years the best student and one of the best lending coaching platforms in the country because I just keep it simple. So guys, dream big, think small. Every journey begins with a simple step. Just start if you haven't started the hard thing yet. Run the play. Utilize aggressive patience, embrace the hard, enjoy the wins, learn from the falls. Growth is mandatory. Persevere, be gracious, and have humility. And I promise you the results are inevitable. Thank you very much.